Part 32. Swallowed Star, My Understanding is Beyond Belief. Author, Bo Yoon Song. Chapter 311. The three giants of the golden flame were completely enveloped by the golden light. They seemed to be trapped in another golden swamp. In the golden light field, even flying seemed extremely difficult. It's a field treasure. This kind of resistance, even if it's not a treasure, it's probably a top treasure. Damn it! The prison clan strongman who flew towards Luo Feng cursed angrily. At this moment, he couldn't move forward or retreat. Whoosh! I hope readers will remember our domain name Taiwan Novel Network rightward arrow. Luo Feng rushed towards this prison clan strongman. Ming Uce, starfire penetrating the sky. This is the peak swordsmanship created by Luo Feng, and now he has applied it to the wings of the golden horned beast. The wings of the golden horned beast that covered the sky and the sun were like two broad swords, crossing the void, shaking the air, and cutting towards the prison clan strongman. Swish! With a muffled sound, the strong man of the prison clan could not react in time, and could not even dodge. He could only burst out his divine power at the moment when the wings of the golden horned beast slashed at him, forming an energy barrier and barely blocking it. But he was still slashed by Luo Feng's wings and flew backwards, blood splattered everywhere. Starry Sky Beast, you are looking for death. The golden flame giant roared, and a divine hammer suddenly appeared in his hand. He swung it vigorously, and the divine hammer with unparalleled power bombarded Luo Feng. This hammer was a heavy blow that could even explode planets, stars, neutron stars, and even black holes. That is to say, the space-time where the original star is located is very stable, otherwise the divine hammer swung by the golden flame giant would be enough to shatter and collapse this space-time. Bang! Luo Feng's true realm is only immortal. Now he can fight against the Universe Master, relying entirely on the powerful life gene level and various treasures. Facing the divine hammer swung by the golden flame giant, he could not dodge at all, and his wings were bombarded. Amidst the muffled sound, Luo Feng and the golden flame giant retreated at the same time. Although Luo Feng was not as good as the three prison clan warriors in terms of law perception, he could rival the general universe overlords in terms of divine body. Damn it! Starry Sky Beast! The retreating golden flame giant roared. He did not expect that his strongest attack was blocked by the golden horned beast, and the opponent was not injured. This was simply incredible. He immediately reacted and shouted to his companions, "This golden horned beast has a defensive treasure." The other two prison clan warriors frowned when they heard this. The divine body is so huge, and there is a defensive treasure, the three of them may not be able to hurt this golden horned beast. Reincarnation. At this moment, a faint voice sounded. This voice seemed to come from the nine nether hell, like a cold wind, blowing through the souls of the three prison clan warriors, making them feel a terrifying and extremely cold from the bottom of their hearts. The next moment, endless light wheels filled the sight of the three prison clan warriors. The circles of light wheels contain the terrifying power of time and space. Even the extremely stable time and space of the original star were broken at this time. The dark space cracks were like an abyss, swallowing everything around. What? It's the ultimate secret method. Damn it! Run! Run! The three powerful men of the prison clan wanted to escape in fear, but the endless light wheels had already covered this area. The vast power of time and space directly imprisoned them in place. Even if the divine power burned, they could not break free from the shackles on their bodies. In the end, the dazzling light wheels came to them, and their divine bodies and souls were all ground and annihilated under this terrifying power of time and space. Boom! When all the light wheels dissipated, the three cosmic masters of the prison clan had disappeared. Luo Xia held the black divine sword and shouted to his eldest brother, who was a little stunned, "Brother, I got the sword, let's go." "Okay." Luo Feng responded, and together with Luo Xia, they instantly turned into two rainbow lights and flew away. After they left, other universe masters who sensed the aura came to the scene. They all looked a little strange when they sensed the remaining aura at the scene. A battle took place here. The treasure is gone. We are a step late. These universe masters were a little annoyed. They sensed the aura of the treasure coming out and rushed here at the fastest speed, but they were still late and missed the treasure. I don't know who got the treasure here. Yes, judging from the remaining aura, at least 6 masters fought here. What's strange is why no one was seen. Could the losing party have been killed? To kill a universe master, at least the strength of a universe overlord is required. The strength of this remaining aura does seem to be left by a universe overlord. A group of universe masters speculated and discussed above the swamp. They would never have thought that not long ago, 3 powerful men of the prison clan fell under the sword moves of others. Soon, Luo Xia and Luo Feng found a dense forest, fell into it, and hid their breath. The process of their fight for the black sword seemed to be described for a long time, but in fact it was very short. From Luo Feng's burst of the golden line aurora domain to the golden flame giant being knocked back by Luo Feng's wings, the time in between was less than 2 seconds. In the 3rd second, Luo Xia got the unborn sword, and then performed the reincarnation swordsmanship, directly killing 3 prison clan strongmen. At this time, only 4 seconds had passed. Then, Luo Xia and Luo Feng flew away from the swamp. It was already 10 seconds later when those cosmic lords came to find them. In the mountain forest, Luo Xia and Luo Feng both shrank in size, only 8 or 9 meters tall. They were sitting on a big tree. Luo Xia was holding a black long sword in his hand, which he had taken from the swamp not long ago. Accessories for the most precious sword He Luo. Is this the sword that is the accessory of Jian He Luo? Luo Feng looked at the black divine sword in Luo Xia's hand, raised his eyebrows and asked, "It looks a bit ordinary, like an ordinary treasure. This divine sword must be paired with a compass to exert its greatest power." Rorschach explained. Compass. Luo Feng thought for a moment and suddenly said, "Xiao Xia, didn't you say that Jian He Luo was taken away by a strong man from the Stinging Ring Alliance? Why don't we release the news, lead out that strong man, and take him away? Take the sword He Luo from your hand." Luo Xia blinked, "Okay. I also want to see how powerful this complete Jian He Luo ninja is." With the original universe around, he wasn't worried that he wouldn't be able to gather all Jian He Luo. How are we going to let out the news that one of Ken He Luo's divine swords is in our hands? Luo Feng began to think. Luo Xia smiled and said, "That's easy. The trouble with going directly to the strong men of the Thorn Ring Alliance is that if we deliberately expose the black sword, they will definitely take the bait. Ken Luo Feng is also very courageous. He knew that his brother had the help of the demon god of Suzhen, and also had various powerful abilities given by the original universe, so he didn't have to worry about the Thorny Ring Alliance at all. Swallowed Star, my understanding is beyond belief. Author, Bo Yun Song. Chapter 312. Luo Xia and Luo Feng were about to go out to find trouble with the Thorn Ring Alliance, when Luo Feng, who was flying in the air, was stunned and then stopped. Luo Xia was slightly puzzled. "Brother, what's wrong with you? My Wu-killing wings are vibrating, it seems to have sensed something." Luo Feng himself was also a little confused, looking into the distance and explaining to Luo Xia. Luo Xia raised his eyebrows. Did the big brother's Wu-killing wings sense another part? In the original work, the Wu-killing wings were originally named Chaos Golden Wings, which was the most proud mechanical treasure of the Wu Kingdom on the Origin continent. Eternal true god-level mechanical flow single treasure, the spirit is Wu-killing. Originally, there were 6 pairs of 12 wings, but they were broken up by super strong men and scattered everywhere. The first pair is in the hands of the Chaos City Lord, and the second is in the hands of Tianyang Venerable. Now the big brother should sense the wings in the hands of Tianyang Venerable, right? Luo Xia looked at Luo Feng and saw that his scaled wings were shaking wildly. If Luo Feng hadn't suppressed Shi Wuyi would have taken him to the direction he could sense. At the same time, in the direction that Luo Feng sensed, a figure more than 8 meters tall was floating in the air. He had thick legs, 8 arms, and his whole body seemed to be made of metal. His head was shiny. It turned out to be a cosmic venerable from the mechanical race. Behind this mechanical race, there was a pair of black wings. At this time, the pair of wings were also shaking wildly. The mechanical race venerable turned his head to look at his wings, and then looked in the direction where the wings sensed. What's going on? My wings are a treasure. I have controlled them for billions of epochs, and I have never encountered such an uncontrollable situation. What's going on? This venerable is powerful and respected. In the long years, he has entered the original star 8 times. Encountered a very dangerous situation. But the wings of the treasure were shaking like today, as if they were attracted by something. It was the first time that they were out of control. What is the reason? The eyes of the mechanical clan elder flashed with a cold light, and he spread his wings, turned into a black stream of light, and flew directly in the direction of the sense. Luo Xia narrowed his eyes, looked into the distance suddenly, and said to Luo Feng, "Brother, someone is coming." The sense of the Wuxi Yuyi is getting stronger and stronger, and the source of gravity is getting closer, Luo Feng said. They all looked into the distance and saw a black dot approaching rapidly. Not long after, the black dot came in front of Luo Feng and Luo Xia, and it was the strong man of the mechanical clan before. He flapped his wings and floated in the void. Luo Feng and the mechanical clan elder's eyes collided in the air. After a slight pause, both sides tacitly moved their eyes away and focused their eyes on each other's wings. They sensed it almost at the same time. The gravity they felt was the two wings attracting each other. Luo Feng suddenly widened his eyes. Could my wings be just a part of a treasure? He made such a guess. Over there, the mechanical clan's venerable also showed a look of doubt and made a similar guess. My wings, wouldn't they be incomplete? The two looked at each other from a distance, and collided with each other in the air again. At this moment, they both had a strong killing intent. "Xiao Xia, leave him," Luo Feng shouted. When Luo Feng shouted, Luo Xia had already taken action. He suddenly swelled his body, and his several-meter-long body became tens of thousands of kilometers in an instant, and then the majestic divine power burst out, and he slapped out with one palm. Heaven-covering palm. Rumble. The huge palm that combined the laws of earth and space covered the sky and sun, descended from the sky, and suppressed the mechanical clan venerable. Venerable Tianyang had never expected that the other party would be so disobedient to martial ethics and actually start fighting right away. Couldn't they talk first? Luo Feng's eyes were cold. He had no intention of talking to Venerable Tianyang. These alien races had sent people to assassinate Luo Xia. Even to this day, the father god of the mechanical race still wanted to personally kill Luo Xia. Luo Feng didn't plan to talk to the mechanical race. Since the wings he wanted were in the hands of the other party, he would just grab them. Luo Feng also moved. He roared, burned his divine body, spread his huge wings, and rushed towards Venerable Tianyang. Rumble. The big trees trembled, and then collapsed. At this moment, a clear voice suddenly came out of Venerable Tianyang's mouth. 8. 8. 8. 3 consecutive sounds. The sound was loud and shocked the soul. A holy look appeared on the face of Venerable Tianyang, and his eyes were filled with a heart-pounding black light. The 8 light shuttles held by him burst out with terrifying power. This is the ultimate skill created by Venerable Tianyang based on his own treasure, 8 shuttles. He was like a spinning top, with 8 arms holding 8 light shuttles, spinning. With one encounter, he knocked Luo Feng, who rushed over first, away. Then, the 8 arms joined forces to strike, holding the 8 light shuttles, like a sharp cone, rushing up to the sky to meet Luoxia's sky-covering palm. Swish! At the moment of collision, Venerable Tianyang felt an unparalleled force. The heaven-covering palm that fell from the sky not only had the bombardment power brought by the huge palm, but also the suppression power brought by the law of earth and the law of space. His high-level treasure could not resist the terrifying power of this palm at all, and only resisted for less than a second. What? In the mood of disbelief and astonishment, this Tianyang Venerable was like a mosquito, and was slapped into the earth of the primordial star by Luoxia's heaven-covering palm. There was only a loud bang. The extremely hard earth of the primordial star was broken under the huge impact. Pieces of rock and soil exploded under the bombardment of the impact energy, and the big trees were like in the surging waves, upside down and ups and downs. Boom! At the moment when the sonic boom exploded, a strong wind far exceeding the 12th level typhoon whistled past, blowing away the rising smoke and dust, revealing a big pit on the ground of the primordial star. Venerable Tianyang was deeply trapped in it. His powerful divine body was damaged by Luoxia's palm of covering the sky, and at least 40% of it was destroyed. Whoosh! Venerable Tianyang quickly flew out of the big pit. Because the big pit that was blasted open had begun to recover, if he didn't fly out quickly, he would be suppressed by the original star inside the planet. If he wanted to get out at that time, he would have to spend a lot of effort. Golden Horned Beast. Destroying Beast. Venerable Tianyang's eyes flashed with unwillingness, and he roared, "I remember you. Let's see. Next time, I will definitely get your precious wings." This last sentence was said to Luo Feng. After saying that, Venerable Tianyang spread his wings and was about to fly away. But at this time, Luoxia's faint voice sounded, "I said, can you leave?" Buzz. Venerable Tianyang suddenly felt that his movements became extremely slow. He looked at Luoxia in astonishment. Luoxia looked down at Venerable Tianyang, his eyes dim, as if endless stars were moving in them. "You, Lord of the Universe." Venerable Tianyang found that the space and time had been controlled, and terrifying pressure emanated from Luoxia's body, suppressing him. With a puff, his body was weakened by another 10% in an instant. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Swallowed Star, my understanding is beyond belief. Author, Bo Yun Song. Chapter 313. Stay. Luoxia reached out his hand again and took out the sky-shielding palm. No. Venerable Tianyang's eyes were frightened, his body was burning, and he wanted to struggle. But, faced with Rorschach, who burst out with the power of the Lord of the Universe, how could he struggle to escape? When the Lord of the Universe faces the Lord of the Universe, or even the Overlord of the Universe, he will crush him. After all, people like Luo Feng who possess various treasures at the immortal level are extremely rare in the universe. Even some powerful cosmic overlords can exert their power as masters of the universe with the help of heavy treasures or even treasures. However, the power of the Lord of the Universe mentioned here refers to the power of the ordinary Lord of the Universe, not the power of the supreme treasure. However, how could the Lord of the Universe not have the most precious treasure? If the Lord of the Universe explodes with the power of the treasure, then no matter how powerful the treasure the Overlord of the Universe has, it will be impossible to compete with the Lord of the Universe. For countless years, only Rorschach has been able to defeat the Lord of the Universe by relying on his heaven-defying understanding. Among them, he still relied on the original pressure of the original universe. Without the star tree, powerful swordsmanship, and the original pressure of the original universe, Rorschach would not have been able to defeat the strong with the weak. Boom! The sky-covering palm bombarded down. Although Venerable Tianyang burned his divine body and struggled hard, he still could not escape. Under the terrifying power of the law of space, his divine body quickly collapsed. When the earth opened up a big pit again, Venerable Tianyang was completely dead, with only a few pieces left. The treasure was left in its place. "Brother, let's go." Luo Xia picked up the treasure of Lord Tianyang with one hand, and then flew into the distance with the excited Luo Feng. Soon, the two brothers came to a hidden valley. Luo Xia and Luo Feng fell into the valley. At this time, the wu-slaying wings had fallen off from the golden horned beast and were trembling violently in mid-air. Rorschach let go of the wings he was holding. The next moment, the pair of wings snatched from Lord Tianyang quickly approached the wu-slaying wings in mid-air. The moment the two pairs of wings touched, the sharp feathers on the wings immediately bounced up. The roots of the two pairs of wings flashed with silver light. Buzz. They are merging and beginning to undergo qualitative changes. Waves of huge coercion spread out. Luo Xia frowned slightly and immediately used a secret technique to cover the entire valley so that the pressure erupted from the wings would not leak out. Okay, what a powerful pressure. Luo Feng stood under the wings and looked at the wings in mid-air in amazement. At this time, the terrifying pressure brought by the fusion of the two pairs of wings made him more and more excited and expectant. Tens of seconds passed. Finally, the fusion of the two pairs of wings in mid-air was completed. I saw two pairs of treasure wings, like precision instruments, combined layer by layer. Powerful and mysterious secret patterns spread out on the four wings, which was so beautiful that it was breathtaking. "Come on, kill Wu Yi. Let me see your current power." Luo Feng was excited and summoned the wings in mid-air. The silver wings turned into a silver stream of light and merged directly into the body of the golden horned beast, merging with his wings. Behind the wings, there was an extra pair of wings. Luo Feng had a thought in his mind. Wings spread. At the moment when his wings spread, Luo Feng discovered that the surrounding space-time fluctuations were clearly sensed. Rorschach, who had been watching from the side, said at this time, "Brother, the secret patterns on your original wings are about the laws of space, but the wings you got from Lord Tianyang, the secret patterns carved on them are about the laws of time. Now the two are fused, allowing you to the killing Wu Yi possesses the power of time and space." Luo Feng nodded excitedly, "That's right." His control wings trembled slightly, and in an instant, countless Luo Feng appeared densely packed in the entire valley, tens of millions of them. Ha ha ha. These wings can actually cause chaos in time and space. If it were an ordinary master of the universe, he wouldn't be able to recognize my true form immediately when I use this move. Luo Feng said with a smile. Luo Xia nodded. This Wu Yi was indeed very powerful. The time and space secret technique he used involved the turbulence of time and space. In a short period of time, it caused the surrounding time and space to fall into chaos. If he were the Lord of the universe with average strength, he really wouldn't be able to find Luo Feng's true body from the chaos of time and space in an instant. But if you meet the powerful Lord of the universe, for example, someone like Luo Xia, who completely understood the origin of the laws of time and space, could immediately see through this chaos of time and space, and directly locate Luo Feng's true body from the chaotic time and space turbulence. Luo Feng spent the next time studying the new Wu-killing wings. After integrating the wings obtained from Lord Tianyang, the power of the Wu-killing wings was greatly increased, but, Luo Feng still felt something was wrong. He said to Luo Xia, "Xiao Xia, it seems that the Wu-killing wings are not complete yet. There seems to be another pair of wings." Luo Xia didn't even need to ask the original universe to answer his elder brother's words, but he still pretended to ask, and then said to Luo Feng, "Brother, the original universe told me that your wings are indeed incomplete, but the other wings are all there outside the original universe." Luo Feng was startled. "Other wings? I thought there should be a third pair of wings in killing Wu Yi. Could it be that there are not just 3 pairs, but more?" "Well, more." Rorschach nodded, but because those wings are not in the original universe doesn't know how many pairs there are, but there are definitely more than 3 pairs. It's not in the original universe. Luo Feng frowned. That's in the cosmic sea. I heard that the cosmic sea is extremely dangerous. Our human race's founder of the giant axe, the strongest man in the universe, has been wandering in the cosmic sea for these years. I think to go to the universe sea, you must at least have the strength of the Lord of the universe. He shook his head and said, it seems that if you want to get the other wings of Killing Wu wings, you can only wait until I become the Lord of the universe and then go to the universe sea to look for opportunities. As for now, after fusing a pair of wings, this Killing Wu wings Wu Yi is already considered a top-notch treasure, and it is enough for me to use now. Luo Xia smiled and nodded. When the matter on the original star is over, I will go to the cosmic sea. I will help you pay attention then. Luo Feng frowned slightly. Are you going to the universe sea? Yes, I agreed to the original ancestor. Rorschach said, you also know that after becoming the master of the universe, you can have insight into the future and the past. The original ancestor seems to have sensed that the founder of the giant axe may be in danger, so I hope I can go to the universe sea to help. What? Luo Feng was surprised. The founder of giant axe was the backbone of the human race. If he encountered danger and died, it would be a huge blow to the human race. But then, he said worriedly, Xioxia, are you sure? He was more worried about his brother than the founder of the great axe. Luo Xia smiled slightly and said, brother, don't worry, I never do anything I'm not sure of. Let me tell you this, even if I die in the universe sea, give me some time, I will be resurrected in the original universe. I have understood the origin of life in the origin of the universe. Unless those people can destroy the original universe as well, there is no way they can really kill Rorschach. Swallowed Star, my understanding is beyond belief. Author, Bo Yun Song. Chapter 314. Brother, the 3 people over there seem to be the universe masters of the Thorn Ring Alliance. On a certain hilltop, Luo Xia and Luo Feng looked into the distance and saw 3 huge universe masters. Each of them was over 1,000 meters tall and long. Their huge bodies stood like a mountain range under the sky, magnificent and terrifying. Luo Feng narrowed his eyes and whispered, should we go and cause trouble directly? Luo Xia shook his head, no, that's too deliberate. It just so happens that a top treasure is about to appear nearby, and they will definitely go to compete for it. When the time comes, I will directly show Jianhe Luo's magic sword, and I'm afraid they won't be fooled. Luo Feng thought about it and nodded, okay. After a pause, he frowned and looked at his brother and said, but Xiao Xia, do you think the Lord of the Universe of the Thorn Ring Alliance will bring Jianhe Luo to the original star? If not, won't we work in vain? The magic sword we got is a part of Jianhe Luo, just like your Wu Shi Yi and Tian Yangzun's wings. If the Lord of the Universe wants to find us, he can only rely on Jianhe Luo's induction of the magic sword, and he will definitely bring it. Luo Xia said with a smile. Luo Feng smiled when he heard it. At this time, a strong breath suddenly broke out. A treasure has been born. In an instant, the 3 cosmic masters of the Thorn Ring Alliance in the distance moved, and Luo Xia and Luo Feng also flew away from the top of the mountain and flew towards the direction where the treasure was coming from. The location that Luo Xia and Luo Feng found was very close to the location where the treasure was born. They arrived at the first time. When they arrived, the top treasure had not yet been completely born. It looks like a flying treasure. Luo Xia and Luo Feng looked at the treasure that emerged from the center of the lake. It was a treasure that looked very similar to the ancient ship. It was copper green in color, with the secret pattern of the Law of Wind on it, and it was shining with a hazy luster. They are coming. When Luo Xia focused his attention on the treasure in the center of the lake, Luo Feng was alert to the 3 cosmic masters of the Thorn Ring Alliance. He saw the three of them flying from the sky and arrived above the lake in an instant. The three strong men of the Thorn Ring Alliance saw the ancient chip treasure in the center of the lake, and their expressions were all happy. This oro looks like a top treasure. And it's a flying top treasure. What luck! The three venerables soon noticed Lugosia and Lugofeng, and their faces changed again. Starry Sky Beast. Two powerful men from the Star Alliance. It's a bit troublesome. Lugosia sneered at this time, and a black divine sword appeared in his hand. He shouted to the three universe venerables, "Three, we found this top treasure first. Go back to where you came from, otherwise don't blame us for being rude." As he said, he waved the black divine sword in his hand. The sword blade cut through the sky with a cold light. The three universe venerables of the Thorn Ring Alliance were attracted by the black divine sword. One of the universe venerables whispered, "Why does the black divine sword in the hand of the destroyer beast look familiar?" The other two universe venerables frowned at the divine sword when they heard it. "It's a little familiar, I feel like I've seen it somewhere. Wait. Isn't this Jianhe Lugo's magic sword?" Finally, a universe master seemed to remember something, and couldn't help but exclaimed, his body trembling with excitement. "Jianhe Lugo. Yes, it's Jianhe Lugo's magic sword. I didn't expect that Jianhe Lugo's other magic sword was on a giant beast." At this time, the other two universe masters also remembered it, and they all widened their eyes excitedly, staring at the black magic sword in Lugosia's hand. Lugosia looked at the three cosmic masters of the Thorn Ring Alliance with a frown on his face, and shouted coldly, "What do you want to do? What do you want to do?" The three cosmic masters of the Thorn Ring Alliance looked at each other, and suddenly laughed together, staring at Lugosia and Lugofeng and said, "Huisha giant beast, golden horned giant beast. If you know what's good for you, leave your treasures and the ancient chip in the center of the lake. Otherwise." Lugofeng also joined in the fun, pretending to be angry and shouting, "Otherwise what? Are you going to rob us of our treasures? Don't talk nonsense with them. There are only two of them. Let's go together. If we can seize Jianhe Lugo's magic sword, we can earn contribution points in the alliance." One of the three masters shouted, and then attacked Lugosia and Lugofeng. The other two also had a tacit understanding, and they immediately took action after the man's voice fell. Lugosia and Lugofeng looked shocked and angry. "I'll remember you." The Thorn Ring Alliance. They pretended to be defeated, turned around, and dived to the center of the lake. At this time, the ancient chip treasure had completely appeared. Lugosia grabbed it with his big hand and put it into the world ring, and fled to the distance with Lugofeng. "Where are you going?" The three universe masters of the Thorn Ring Alliance were extremely angry when they saw Lugosia and Lugofeng escape. They wanted to stop them, but Lugofeng suddenly grew another pair of wings. With a flap of 4 wings, Lugosia disappeared from their sight like a stream of light. The three universe masters were so angry. "Damn it! Let them escape. How could the golden horned beast have an extra pair of wings? It's too fast. What should we do now?" After a while, the three of them calmed down a little. I heard one of them, Venerable Bahan, who looked like a bear and was as strong as a mountain, say, "Jianhe Lugo's divine sword accessories involve that gentleman. They are the most important treasures of our Thorn Ring Alliance. We must find those two, the giant beast in the starry sky, capture the divine sword." "Ba Huan, you are right, but you also saw that those two starry sky beasts ran extremely fast, and we couldn't catch up at all," Lord Lingmu said in a hoarse voice. Another Lord Jigui said at this time, "The current situation can only be reported to the Alliance. If that adult comes, he will definitely find the two giant starry beasts." Upon hearing this, Venerable Bawang nodded, "That's all we can do. Unfortunately, if we can catch those two starry sky beasts and get Jianhe Lugo's divine sword accessories, we can get more contribution points." If we only have intelligence now, the contribution value will be greatly reduced. It's better than nothing, said Lord Lingmuo. Venerable Jigui said, report it. They all have incarnations sitting outside the original star. As long as they move their thoughts, they can immediately spread the news here. Soon, the Thorn Ring Alliance got the news. Because it was related to the most precious sword Hilo, the Thorn Ring Alliance did not publicize this matter to the outside world. However, an order was quickly issued. All the lords of the Thorn Ring Alliance and the lords of the universe near this primitive star immediately went to the primitive star where Luo Xia and Luo Feng were located. They must find these two starry sky beasts and win the victory. The most precious sword, Heluo's divine sword. Not long after, a large number of cosmic sages and cosmic overlords from the Thorn Ring Alliance came to this primitive star through various transmission channels. Luo Xia and her eldest brother Luo Feng were hiding in a canyon. After asking about the original universe, he immediately knew the arrangement of the Thorny Ring Alliance, and said to Luo Feng, brother, the Lord of the Sword River has not come here yet. Now the Thorny Ring Alliance has only sent some universe overlords and universe venerables to look for it. Us. Luo Feng muttered, according to the plan, we hide. As long as those universe overlords and universe sages cannot find us, the Lord of Jianhe will definitely appear with Jianhe Luo. Rorschach nodded and began to use the secret method of time and space to separate this canyon from this piece of time and space. Unless the Lord of the Universe comes in person, no powerful person below the Lord of the Universe can discover this canyon. The two brothers just waited quietly in the canyon. Swallowed Star, my understanding is beyond belief. Author, Bo Yun Song. Chapter 315. From time to time, many universe masters and universe overlords fly out of the various channels of the original star. It can be found that these universe masters and universe overlords are all strong men of the Thorn Ring Alliance. Many people were surprised to see these strong men of the Thorn Ring Alliance coming to this original star. Virtual Universe, Hongmeng City, Open Air Bar. Bloodwing Master and Nine Sword Master are drinking in the bar and chatting about some topics on the original star. Suddenly, a female master named Menu said, have you heard that the Thorn Ring Alliance is now sending a large number of universe masters and universe overlords to the original star No 05921? There are a total of 10,081 original stars. Long ago, the various races in the universe numbered these original stars to facilitate the actions of all parties. Original star No 05921. Hearing this, Venerable Bloodwing frowned. Why did the Thorn Ring Alliance send so many strong men to that primitive star? I haven't heard of any treasure appearing on No 05921. It's a bit strange. Venerable Nine Swords nodded and asked the other venerables, are there any people from our Hongmeng on that primitive star? Venerable Menjiao said, it seems that Venerable Kiwi is there. Are Venerable Kiwi and his men in Hongmeng City? Venerable Bloodwing asked. The other universe venerables were also attracted by the movement of the Thorn Ring Alliance at this time. Soon, Venerable Kiwi was found by everyone in the corner of the bar. Venerable Kiwi was shining with holy light all over his body. When he was found by everyone, he and his companions were guessing what the Thorn Ring Alliance did on the primitive star No 05921. Kiwi, do you know why the Thorn Ring Alliance sent so many strong men to the primitive star No 05921? Venerable Bloodwing asked. Venerable Kiwi shook his head and said, we don't know the specific situation, but there is some news that the Thorn Ring Alliance is looking for two star beasts on the original star where we are. Two star beasts. Venerable Jijian was stunned, and then subconsciously looked at Venerable Sui and asked, Sui, are they the two star beasts that once snatched the high-level treasure in front of you? Venerable Sui hesitated and said, it's possible. He looked at Venerable Kiwi. Kiwi, do you know which two star beasts the Thorn Ring Alliance is looking for? I heard that it is a destroyer beast and a golden horned beast, Kiwi said. Venerable Bloodwing was shocked and said, that's them. Those two space beasts are incredible. After getting the high-level treasure, they immediately sealed Venerable Qijing and Venerable Qingyu. Until now, the alliance organization that Venerable Qijing and Venerable Qingyu belong to has not been able to contact them. Can't contact? Could it be that Venerable Qijing and Venerable Qingyu haven't fallen yet? Are they still sealed? Venerable Bloodwing's words surprised the others present. Generally speaking, the universe venerables and even universe overlords who fell on the original star will be resurrected by the universe master in the tribe. Those who cannot be resurrected are still alive. But they are alive and don't contact the tribe. Venerable Nine Swords and others guess that the two universe overlords are probably still sealed by the two space beasts. This is a bit scary. A high-level treasure can actually seal the universe overlord for so long. The value of the high-level treasure that Venerable Bloodwing missed at the beginning may be beyond everyone's expectations. Let's not talk about the two universe overlords for now. Venerable Menu said. She looked at Venerable Kiwi and continued to ask, Kiwi, can you find out other news on that primitive star? Since the Thorn Ring Alliance has sent so many strong men, I'm afraid that the two star beasts have grabbed some powerful treasures. Venerable Kiwi shook his head. I can't find out. Those people in the Thorn Ring Alliance are very vigilant and don't communicate with people from other forces at all. But now, because of the actions of the Thorn Ring Alliance, everyone is looking for the two star beasts, just to find a breakthrough from the star beasts. Has anyone found the two star beasts? Asked a Venerable. Venerable Kiwi said, it's strange to say, everyone has basically searched the primitive star, but until now, they still haven't found them. Some people speculate that perhaps the two star beasts have escaped to other primitive stars. Other primitive stars. The human race strongmen were thoughtful. In the Thorn Ring Alliance, outside a transmission channel leading to other primitive stars, a cosmic overlord was guarding it with 3 cosmic venerables. One of the cosmic venerables suddenly said to the cosmic overlord, Lord Fenyu, we have almost searched the 05921 primitive star, but still haven't found the two star beasts. Did they escape to other primitive stars? The cosmic overlord Fenyu shook his head and said, it's impossible. After the Alliance got the news, it immediately asked all the powerful people nearby to rush over and blocked all the transmission channels at the first time. According to Venerable Lingmu and others, the direction in which the two star beasts fled was far away from all the transmission channels. They couldn't have escaped from this primitive star. The cosmic venerable hesitated and said, but, we have been looking for a long time, but still haven't found the two star beasts. Venerable Fenyu frowned. Indeed, after searching for so long, most of the venerables and overlords in their alliance came to this primitive star, but still couldn't find the two star beasts. They may have left this primitive star. If they really escaped from this original star, then the possibility of finding them on another original star is very small. After all, there are 10,081 original stars. The Alliance can't put most of its manpower and time on this matter just because of a sword accessory of Jianhe Luo. It seems that the Lord of Jianhe must bring Jianhe Luo to the original star. The Venerable Fenyu whispered. The universe venerable next to him was excited. Lord Fenyu, what do you mean? It's better for those two star beasts to hide on this planet. Venerable Fenyu looked dim. In this case, when the Lord of Jianhe comes with the treasure Jianhe Luo, maybe he can find the two star beasts by relying on the induction between the treasures. Otherwise, if they really escape, it will be meaningless for the Lord of Jianhe to come again. The universe venerables nodded. At present, this seems to be the only way. At the same time, on a planet made entirely of metal machinery, a burly robot in purple armor was sitting high on the throne, and he activated the time-space reversal. The time-space in front of him began to reverse, and scenes emerged one after another. After a while, he froze one of the scenes and froze the 8-armed bald robot in it. Then, time-space began to flow back and returned to normal. Great power descended on the purple-armored robot, and after a while, the 8-armed bald robot stood on the hall with a blank look. The 8-armed bald robot was slightly confused, but soon came to his senses and immediately saluted the purple-armored robot above him, saying, "Thank you, Master, for resurrecting me." "Tianyang, who killed you?" the purple-armored robot asked in confusion. "You have that pair of precious wings. Even if the Universe Overlord wants to stop you, it is extremely difficult. Why did you still die? Did you meet the Lord of the Universe?" Hearing this question, Venerable Tianyang seemed to recall something, his body trembled slightly, and he said in a deep voice, "Master, it was indeed the Lord of the Universe who killed me. It was a giant beast that destroyed Su. It only took one palm to completely destroy my divine body. I couldn't resist at all." The purple-armored robot looked cold and muttered to himself, "The giant beast that destroyed Su at the level of the Lord of the Universe, could it be the Lord of Qingxing? The Lord of Qingxing is the Lord of the Universe of the giant beast family that destroyed Su. He is very powerful and has a mastery of the field of time and space. Among all the lords of the universe, he is considered to be the best." You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Swallowed Star, my understanding is beyond belief. Author, Bo Yoon Song. Chapter 316. Why do those two giant starry beasts attack you? On the divine throne, the purple-armored robot looked down at Venerable Tianyang and asked. Lord Tianyang hesitated slightly. After he obtained the Liuguang wings, he always thought it was an ordinary treasure. But now, he suddenly discovered that his flowing wings might be incomplete. Lord Tianyang immediately realized that his flowing light wings might not be simple. If he gets the wings from the golden horned giant beast, his flowing light wings will definitely undergo a qualitative change. By then, even if his flowing light wings are not the most powerful treasure, they should be it is a top-notch, even top-level treasure. Should I tell the Lord of Hengxian about this? Venerable Tianyang didn't want to answer. Because if the Lord of Hengxian knew about it, even if he took back the flowing light wings from the golden horned giant beast, it would have nothing to do with him. But there is a very uncomfortable place for the mechanical tribe. The mechanical people are intelligent beings, and they are born with the need to recognize their master. They will recognize their masters from mechanical tribesmen who are more advanced than themselves, including the Lord of the Universe. Unless the servant's strength exceeds that of the master one day, then the senior leaders of the mechanical clan will order the master to directly terminate the master-servant relationship, otherwise the master-servant relationship will remain forever. They have feelings, and they will also have resentment, jealousy, anger, excitement, happiness, and many other emotions. However, recognizing the master is an ability at the core of intelligent life. Once you recognize the master, you will absolutely obey the master in essence, and there will be no the slightest thought of betrayal, perhaps jealousy and dissatisfaction with other members of the same clan, but absolute loyalty to the master. The society of the mechanical race is a typical pyramid governance structure. This is also the reason why Venerable Tianyang calls the Lord of Hengxian his master. Now, no matter how much Venerable Tianyang doesn't want to answer, he must reply to Lord Hengxian's question. Venerable Tianyang's eyes flashed and he said helplessly. Reporting to the master, I was looking for treasures on primitive star 05921. Suddenly, the flowing light wings on my back reacted with the wings of a golden horned giant beast. I followed the feeling of the flowing light wings and found the golden horned giant beast. Then, I discovered that the golden horned giant beast also had a pair of feathered wings, which seemed to match my flowing wings, as if they were originally one. At that time, I wanted to snatch the wings of the golden horned giant beast, but I never thought that its companion, the ruined giant beast, was the Lord of the Universe and could kill me with one palm. The Lord of Hengxian frowned and said in a deep voice. If the information recorded in my database is correct, did you get your streamer wings 120,000 epochs ago? Since then, you have experienced 8 primitive star opening events. After so many years, you the flowing wings have always been ordinary, just ordinary treasures. How could they suddenly interact with the wings of a golden horned giant beast? He stared at Lord Tianyang with bright eyes. Is it true that, as you said, your flowing light wings are extraordinary, but some super treasure has been split? In the end, they became 2 pairs, one pair is the flowing light wings, and the other is the flowing light wings. You got it, and the other pair was got by the golden horned giant beast. What Venerable Ruo Tianyang said is true. Those flowing wings are really extraordinary. Master, I think my Liu Guang wings should be incomplete, just like the Jianhe logo obtained by the Lord of Jianhe. Although the compass and a divine sword he obtained are enough to exert the power of a high-level treasure, but if he gets the other 8 divine swords, the power that Jianhe logo can exert can reach the top level, even the level of the pinnacle treasure. Lord Tianyang said. After answering the question of the Lord of Hengxian, Lord Tianyang figured it out. Now it is difficult to get his flowing wings back. After all, the golden horned giant beast was followed by a destructive giant beast at the level of the Lord of the Universe. With his strength, if he comes to his door again, he will die. In this case, it is better to inform the Lord of Hengxian. If the Lord of Hengxian is interested in Liu Guang feather wings, he will naturally go to trouble the golden horned behemoth and the Ruinchuo behemoth. Hearing this, the Lord of Hengxian's eyes flashed. The intelligence information of the Supreme Sword He logo is also in his database, and it is more detailed and accurate than the information of Venerable Tianyang. According to his calculations, if all 9 swords of Jianhe logo were gathered together, now Jianhe logo, who only has a high-level treasure level, will immediately rise to the level of a top-level domain treasure. This level of treasure is enough to drive the masters of the universe crazy. Suddenly, the Lord of Hengxian thought of the recent strange actions of the Thorn Ring Alliance on the original star No 05921, looked at Venerable Tianyang and said, after your death, the Thorn Ring Alliance suddenly sent a large number of Universe Lords and Universe Overlords into the original star No 05921. I heard that they were looking for 2 starry sky beasts. Could it be said that those 2 starry sky beasts had Jianhe logo on their bodies? Other divine swords. Venerable Tianyang looked confused, shook his head and said, I don't know. He had just been resurrected and had no idea what happened to the primitive star after his death. The Lord of Hengxian did not want to get the answer from Lord Tianyang. He was just sorting out his thoughts. At this time, his eyes were no longer on Lord Tianyang, but looked into the void and started talking to himself. From this point of view, the 2 starry sky beasts not only have the flowing wings that may be the top treasure, but also the divine sword parts of the treasure sword He logo. If I can get these 2 treasures, it will definitely greatly enhance my strength. He was excited, and stood up and told Venerable Tianyang, Tianyang, you have just been resurrected, so go down and rest first. As for the price of my resurrection, send it to me later. Venerable Tianyang bowed his head in frustration and replied, yes, Master. He has almost nothing now, and the flowing light wings and 8 shuttles were all lost on the original star. It is difficult to collect the resurrection price for the Lord of Hengxian in a short time. But it is better to be alive than to die. Venerable Tianyang can only find a way to earn a fortune next. Alas! Sighing uncomfortably, Venerable Tianyang's eyes flashed with hatred for the golden horned beast and the destroying beast, and left the temple of the Lord of Hengxian. On the Lord of Hengxian, after Venerable Tianyang left, he immediately sent a message to the mechanical clan universe Venerable on the original star 05921, asking them to look for the figures of the 2 star beasts, and if they found them, they should tell him as soon as possible. In fact, the mechanical race strongmen on the original planet 05921 had been secretly looking for the figures of the star beasts as early as they noticed the strange actions of the Thorn Ring Alliance. They also wanted to find out what secrets the 2 star beasts had that caused the Thorn Ring Alliance to make such a big fuss. The two star beasts must have some treasures on them. Find them! Find them! The Thorn Ring Alliance sent so many people. The treasures on them must be extraordinary. For a while, on the original planet 05921, not only the Thorn Ring Alliance was looking for Luo Xia and Luo Feng, but also the strong men of the mechanical race, human race, prison race, and crystal race joined the action of looking for Luo Feng and Luo Xia. When the people of the Thorn Ring Alliance saw that the situation had become like this, they were all puzzled. They wanted to shout to other races, "Why are you here to join in the fun?" But they couldn't shout. Otherwise, Jianhe Luo's affairs would be exposed. At that time, the situation would be even more unfavorable to their Thorn Ring Alliance. Venerable Feng Yu said, "We must ask the Lord of the Sword River to bring the treasure here. Only through the induction between the treasures can we quickly find the two star beasts. Otherwise, if the situation continues to develop like this, it will only become more and more disadvantageous to our Thorn Ring Alliance." Swallowed Star, my understanding is beyond belief. Author, Bo Yun Song. Chapter 317. On this day, the Lord of Jianhe arrived. Incredible pressure came directly to the primitive star. All the cosmic lords operating on the primitive star No 05921 were shocked by the huge pressure. They raised their heads and looked towards the source of the pressure. I saw a majestic and huge figure slowly descending in the whirlpool of space. His body is extremely huge. His body length alone is over 1,000 kilometers. He has blue scales all over his body and 5 eyes on his face. Each eye is a different color, divided into blue, red, gold, and green, and black. Her long turquoise hair was hanging loose, and there was a single horn on her head. The moment the Lord of Jianhe arrived, he released his breath. In an instant, all areas of the original star, whether it was mountains, forests, deserts, lakes, swamps, oceans, Minato was restrained by an irresistible force. The strong men on the primitive star were horrified. No. The Lord of the Universe has arrived. Damn it, it's the Lord of the Sword River of the Thorn Ring Alliance. Do those two giant starry beasts have Jianhe Luo's divine sword accessories on them? While the universe venerables were surprised, many people also guessed why the Lord of Jianhe came. For a moment, they were even more surprised. No wonder the Thorn Ring Alliance sent so many strong men. It turns out that the two giant starry beasts are related to the most precious sword He Luo. Although some of the universe venerables and universe overlords guessed the true intention of the Lord of Jianhe's arrival, they did not dare to act rashly and all of them tolerated it. The Master of the Universe is too powerful. The power to control time and space alone is not something that the Universe Lord and the Universe Overlord can touch. Although this power cannot kill them. But in this controlled space and time, the Lord of the Universe is the most powerful existence. He can instantly fly to the side of any strong person and kill them. The Lord of the Universe and the Overlord of the Universe cannot escape even if they want to. At the same time, in the canyon that Rorschach had separated from the original star time and space using a secret method, both Rorschach and Luo Feng sensed the powerful aura emanating from the Lord of the Sword River. The Lord of Sword River is here. Luo Xia sent a message to his eldest brother Luo Feng. We're finally here. Luo Feng smiled. This Lord of Jianhe must have brought the most precious sword He Luo with him, right? Well, he brought it here. Luo Xia nodded. Just now, the original will of the original universe had informed him of all the information about the Lord of the Sword River. It can be said that in this universe, Rorschach is the person who knows him best besides the Lord of Jianhe. Xioxia, are you sure? Luo Feng asked Luo Xia at this time. Luo Xia smiled and said, of course I am sure, but after the battle with the Lord of Jianhe, I may have to send you away from the primitive star first. This battle may expose my identity, and the Zerg Queen and the others will be there. It came as soon as possible. When Luo Feng heard this, his expression became solemn and hesitantly said, "Xiao Xia, is the plan you mentioned a bit too risky? How about forgetting it? If the Zerg Queen and the others come, it will be too dangerous. Brother, now the arrow is on the string and has to be fired." Luo Xia had nothing to worry about and comforted Luo Feng and said, "You don't have to worry about me. This is something I have been planning for a long time. You have to know that this is the place closest to the origin of the universe. Here, I can explode with stronger combat power, and I also have the demon god of virtual reality. Help, no problem." Luo Feng sighed. He was hiding in this canyon with Rorschach, and only then heard Rorschach talk about his plan. After hearing Luo Xia's audacious plan, Luo Feng disagreed very much. After all, he wanted to enslave the strongest people in the universe from the three peak ethnic groups. This plan was too messy. But Rorschach made up his mind. Luo Feng didn't know how to persuade him. Because as an older brother, he knew very well what kind of character his younger brother was. Generally, even 10 cows couldn't pull back what Rorschach had decided. Don't talk about his big brother. Even if Luo Hongguo and Gong Xinlan were here, they couldn't persuade Luo Xia. Luo Feng could only warn him in the end. You must pay attention. If you are really defeated, then run away. Our ancestors said that if you keep the green hills, you won't have to worry about running out of firewood. You have infinite teleportation given by the original universe. If you want to run away, the Zerg Queen cannot stop you. Yeah, I know. Rorschach nodded. In the distance, after the Lord of Jian released his aura and controlled the time and space of this primitive star, his 5 eyes became a little confused. He didn't even sense the position of the 2 giant starry beasts. Could it be that those 2 starry sky beasts really left this primitive star? At this moment, a huge compass flew out of the hands of the Lord of the Sword River. On the compass, there was a black divine sword suspended. If Luo Xia and Luo Feng were here, they would find that this suspended compass, the divine sword on them, was exactly the same as the black divine sword in their hands, as if they were made from the same mold. Buzz buzz. After the compass and the divine sword flew out, they were shaking violently. Immediately afterwards, the tip of the divine sword suddenly turned and pointed in a direction. The Lord of Jian was delighted, still on this primitive star. He looked at the direction pointed by the divine sword from a distance, and another doubt arose in his heart: since they are still on this primitive star, why can't I sense the breadth and position of the 2 starry sky beasts? This is really weird. According to what Venerable Lingmu and his companions said, the strength of the 2 star beasts was only that of the universe Venerable, otherwise, they would not have fled directly after Venerable Lingmu and his companions took action. But since they were only the strength of the universe Venerable, why could he, the Lord of the universe, not sense the information and location? Could it be that the 2 star beasts have some top treasures that can hide their aura? The Lord of Jian thought, and as soon as he thought, his huge body seemed to teleport and flew in the direction pointed by Jian Luo. Not long after, he came to the sky above a mountain forest. The Lord of Jian glanced at the divine sword on the compass and found that the position pointed by the sword tip was just below him. Are the 2 star beasts really here? The Lord of Jian looked at the mountain forest below and saw nothing. But at this time, he had already vaguely sensed something wrong. As the Lord of the universe who controls a piece of time and space, he is still very sensitive to time and space. No. His 5 eyes shone brightly, scanning the forest below. A small piece of time and space here has been stripped away. Such means can only be achieved by the Lord of the universe, who has a very deep understanding of the laws of time and space. In an instant, the Lord of Jian reacted, and was angry and surprised. Trap? Damn, this is a trap for me. One of the 2 star beasts is the Lord of the universe. They deliberately exposed Jian Luo's sword and lured me here. Buzz. At this moment, in the forest below, time and space suddenly rippled like a lake, and then a figure suddenly rushed out of the ripples, holding a sword with a galaxy in his hand. The sword light flashed, reflecting the angry and surprised expression of the Lord of Genhe. Lord of Genhe. Although you reacted, it was too late. Leave the treasure Genhe Lugo. The sword-wielding giant beast shouted coldly. Swallowed Star, my understanding is beyond belief. Author, Bo Yun Song. Chapter 318. Seeing the Ruinchuo giant beast rushing towards him with the divine sword in hand, the Lord of Genhe was frightened and furious. He reached out with his big hand and sacrificed the most precious sword he Lugo. I saw the black compass rotating, and the black divine sword suspended on the compass shook. Clang. The sound of swords resounded across the sky. The black divine sword spun around, bursting out with supreme sword energy, invincible, slashing at Lugosia. Well done. Lugosia laughed loudly, turned the galaxy sword in his hand upside down, and instantly knocked away the incoming black sword. The black divine sword quickly returned to the compass after being knocked away. The Lord of Genhe's face was cold. He held the compass, stared at Lugosia and asked, "Destruction of the beast. You deliberately exposed the divine sword to attract me, right? Do you want to seize Genhe Lugo from my hand?" Lugosia stood with his sword in hand, bared his teeth in a smile, and his orangutan-like face looked ferocious and terrifying. "Lord of Genhe, you reacted very quickly. I did lure you here on purpose. If you know what I am doing, I will put Genhe Lugo down. I'll spare your life." Furious. The Lord of Genhe was extremely angry. Ever since he became the Lord of the universe, no one has dared to speak to him like this. Genhe realm. He strikes again. I saw him throwing away the compass in his hand. The black compass immediately flew into the sky, instantly enlarged, covering the sky and the sun, and a terrifying realm spread out. In an instant, the sword energy filled the void. The black divine sword sat on top of the compass, and with the sound of the sword, a roar came out. A terrifying sword energy cut through the void and shot toward Lugosia. What a terrifying sword energy! Is this the power of the precious sword Lugo? If we were hit by such a terrifying sword energy, I would probably be seriously injured or even die, right? This is just sword Lugo who only has one divine sword. If he had the complete sword Lugo with 9 divine swords, wouldn't it be possible to expand the domain and release sword energy like a galaxy? This complete form of Genhe Lugo definitely has the power of the pinnacle treasure. The cosmic sages on the original star No 05921 were all horrified when they saw the Lord of Genhe showing off his power. They were all frightened by the power that Genhe Lugo unleashed. This terrifying sword energy is simply not something that cosmic lords like them can resist. But the giant beast of destruction seemed to be the Lord of the universe. Maybe he can resist? Under everyone's expectant eyes, they saw the long sword in Lugosia's hand drawing a circle in front of them. Buzz. A strange light wheel emerged. This halo seems to exist in the past, present, and even the future. The state is very magical. Whoosh. The sword energy flew through the air and arrived in front of Lugosia in an instant, but was blocked by the magical light wheel. There is no sword energy that can break through the defense of the light wheel. When the Lord of Sword River saw him, his 5 eyes stood up and he shouted in disbelief, "This defensive sword technique has actually reached the level of the ultimate secret technique of the Lord of the Universe. Destroy the beast. Are you really a starry sky beast?" No wonder the Lord of Genhe asked. In the original universe, regardless of whether they knew the starry sky beasts or not, most ethnic groups had a stereotype of the naturally powerful starry sky beasts. They believed that the starry sky beasts were all ethnic groups that fought with their bodies. This is also true. Most of the starry sky beasts are better at using their own bodies to fight. They rarely rely on external forces. Even the destruction behemoth and the purple chrysalis behemoth, which are closer to human form, prefer to use their claws, tails, arms and legs to fight. Are you looking down on the giant starry sky beast? Logosya asked, already charging towards the Lord of the Sword River with his sword in hand, who stipulates that the giant starry sky beast can't use swords. But you guessed it right. I'm really not a giant starry beast. The Lord of the Sword River saw Rorschach rushing toward him with his sword, and wanted to use the power of time and space to restrain Rorschach. However, after he activated it, he discovered that half of the previous control of time and space had been taken away by Rorschach. Damn it! The Lord of He cursed angrily. This giant beast of destruction quietly took away the control of this space and time. Such terrifying control of time and space, it is obvious that this giant beast of destruction is under the laws of time and space. In terms of perception, he is far ahead of him. Second realm. Now that half of the control of time and space has been taken away, the Lord of He can only rely on his own precious sword, He-Logo. He shouted angrily and activated He-Logo's second level. I saw the He-Logo skyrocketing again, and endless secret patterns of laws appeared on the compass. Then, a terrifying suction force erupted on the compass, aiming at Logosya. Time and space become distorted under the suction. Now that is on the original star. If it were outside, the time and space of the original universe would be shattered by the suction. Logosya rushed towards the Lord of the Sword River and couldn't help but pause under the terrifying suction force. He was about to burn his divine power and break away from the suction when suddenly time and space changed and the space rotated. He was sucked into it by the compass. The huge compass was like a black earth. Black law patterns appeared on the compass and condensed into a handle. Excalibur. And the real black divine sword is located in the center of all the divine swords. Like a general ordering an army, it sends out bursts of sword sounds that resound through the sky. The endless sword light shoots out in all directions, cutting the surrounding void and drawing out lines. Black cracks. It allows me to display the second realm of He-Logo. The 5 eyes of the Lord of the Sword River suddenly appeared above the compass. They stared coldly at Logosya in the compass, their eyes full of murderous intent. Destruction beast, die with pride. We are also the Lord of the universe. Do you think you can kill me just by relying on the realm of an incomplete treasure? Rorschach didn't bother to say anything. Although after entering the compass, he felt great pressure. This terrifying pressure was like 100,000 mountains, suppressing his body and making the flow of his divine power become stagnant. But compared to the pressure of the origin of the universe, the domain pressure that this compass explodes is really not worth mentioning. The Lord of He was slightly silent when he heard Logosya's words. Indeed, it is very difficult to kill a Lord of the universe. This destructive beast has just now exposed a high-level treasured divine sword. There are other life-saving treasures. But fighting is nothing but reality. The Lord of He did not expect He-Logo's second realm to be able to kill Logosya. After all, this He-Logo is still incomplete. He only has one of the 9 divine swords until now, and the other 8 are scattered outside. The incomplete treasure, its power is greatly reduced. However, the Lord of He also believes that although He-Logo's second realm cannot kill Rorschach, it can definitely seriously injure Rorschach and cause him to lose 10 to 20% of his divine body. Great Sword River. The Lord of He stopped talking nonsense to Rorschach. He drove He-Logo, and saw the compass turning with a click, and endless secret patterns of laws emerged, turning into a magic sword that alternated between virtual and real. These magic swords gathered around the real black magic sword, and instantly turned into a terrifying line. The torrent of swords. The next second, this torrent of swords stretching for tens of thousands of kilometers roared towards Rorschach. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Swallowed Star, my understanding is beyond belief. Author, Bo Yun Song. Chapter 319. Boom. The terrifying torrent of millions of swords burst out with unparalleled power. The scalps of the watching universe masters were numb. If this powerful move rushed towards them, the universe masters, they would be annihilated in front of the endless torrent of sword blades in an instant, and there would be no possibility of resistance at all. Horror. This is just the incomplete Jianhe logo. Too terrifying. Even if it is the Lord of the universe, it will be hit by this endless torrent of sword blades. If not dead, it will be seriously injured. The Lord of Jianhe is showing his power. Is the giant beast of destruction going to be finished? The universe masters stared at this battlefield, concentrating their attention. Such a battle between the lords of the universe is very rare. If they can get some inspiration from this battle, it will be very beneficial to their cultivation path. Outside the compass, Luo Feng was also watching the battle. When others thought Luo Xia was going to be finished, Luo Feng was relieved. He knew his brother's strength too well. Now Luo Xia did not show his power at all, but only used a galaxy sword to perform swordsmanship. Rumble. It was as if thousands of beasts were galloping. The vast and endless torrent of sword blades finally arrived in front of Luo Xia. But at this moment, Luo Xia's breath suddenly became cold, as if a peerless sword was finally unsheathed. Clang. At this moment, everyone on the original star seemed to hear the sound of a sword blade coming from the distant time and space. The next moment, a dazzling sword light bloomed. The world seemed to be split, half black and half white. In everyone's sight, a magnificent sword seemed to be waved by an invisible giant hand. Time and space are breaking. The galaxy is shattering. Boom. Open the sky. A cold shout, accompanied by the sound of a cold sword, shattered the extremely stable space and time, splitting the roaring and rushing endless sword blades in the middle. A soft sound of swish. The field opened by the compass was cut open. Rorschach flew out, holding the galaxy sword, and looked at the somewhat stunned Lord of the Sword River. How is it possible? The Lord of the Sword River looked at Rorschach in disbelief. The sword just now has surpassed the ultimate level. It has reached the realm of unique skills that can only be created by the strongest in the universe. He dared not, and could not believe it, a Lord of the universe could actually perform the swordsmanship of the strongest in the universe. This is incredible. The other universe masters and universe overlords who were watching the battle were also stunned. That sword. What kind of swordsmanship is that? Horrible. So terrifying. Just one sword, but it's like splitting the universe in half. So terrifying. It actually broke Jianhe Luo's domain with just one sword. Is that Huisha monster too powerful? Or is the incomplete Jianhe Luo not good enough? Some people were amazed, and some people asked soul questions. Luo Feng saw Luo Xia escape from danger, and a smile appeared on his face. Then he thought of the sword that his brother had just used, and lowered his head slightly to ponder. Xiao Xia's sword just now seemed to be a swordsmanship created on Earth. There are many shadows of the past. Back then, it was just a swordsmanship that surpassed the owner of the hall, destroying the world. Now that the strength has been improved, the power and realm have also become more powerful and terrifying. I also comprehended a swordsmanship back then. What was it called? Luo Feng recalled and thought of that violent rainy night with thunder. That year, he was not a planetary-level strongman. Not even a god of war. Then on that day, on that thunderous rainy night, he was suddenly infected by the momentum of nature. In that grand, terrifying thunder, he comprehended a sword technique, the first sword technique that he created completely by himself. What name did he give that sword technique at that time? Oh, right. Thunderbolt. The name of that sword technique is Thunderbolt. At this moment, Luo Feng's expression suddenly lifted, as if he had broken some kind of shackles, and his various experiences and sword techniques along the way emerged in his mind. They gradually condensed in Luo Feng's heart and turned into a transparent, ancient long sword. Then, this long sword slashed out like lightning and thunder. Boom! A sword intent burst out. Luo Xia, who was confronting the Lord of Jianhe, was slightly startled and turned back to look in the direction of his elder brother Luo Feng. Huh? Big brother's sword technique has broken through. He was happy. Over there, the Lord of Jianhe saw that Luo Xia dared to be distracted in front of him, and he was immediately angry at being ignored. He shouted, destroying giant beast. You are too arrogant. Die. Attack again. This time, the Lord of Jianhe did not drive Jianhe Luo again, but burst out divine power, trying to seize the control of this space-time, preparing to use the constraints of space-time to completely grasp the initiative in the battle. But Luo Xia would never let him do what he wanted. Only he realized the breakthrough of his elder brother Luo Feng in swordsmanship. Others did not notice the little noise Luo Feng made. At this time, other universe masters were concentrating on watching the battle between Luo Xia and the Lord of Jianhe. As the lords of the universe, both sides began to compete for the space-time of this primitive star. The Lord of Jianhe is an old-fashioned Lord of the universe, probably at the level of a second-level Lord of the universe. The Lord of the universe at this level has 1 trillion times the power of the World Lord. But what about Rorschach? That is an existence that can fight the strongest person in the universe. Not counting the star sacred tree and the original universe, his own perfect genes and the most powerful secret method he has comprehended are comparable to those of the Lord of the 6th level universe. Before, it was just to test the strength of the Lord of Jianhe. After all, seriously speaking, this is the master of the universe that Rorschach faced after he became the master of the universe. Now he has roughly figured out that the Lord of Jianhe is at the level of the Lord of the universe. Jianhe. Is this the only strength you have? Rorschach's divine power exploded, and the time and space around him began to distort. The next moment, the Lord of Jianhe suddenly felt a powerful power. Before he could resist, the time and space control he had fought so hard for was instantly completely lost to Rorschach. Take control. If that's all, then I'll ask you to die. The cold words stirred the Lord of Jianhe's nerves. He looked at Rorschach in horror. The strength of the guy in front of him actually far exceeded him. But for such a powerful starry sky beast, why haven't we heard of his name in the universe before? Boom. After the trial ended, Luo Xia took control of time and space, and used the heaven-shrouding palm, which contained the terrifying power of the law of earth and the law of space. The earth-yellow palm fell from the sky and suppressed the Lord of the Jianhe River. The Lord of Jianhe was shocked and angry. He is now in the time and space controlled by Rorschach, and cannot move or dodge at all. The giant beast of destruction. The Lord of Jianhe roared. He really didn't want to blow himself up unless he had to, but now, it seems that he has no choice but to blow himself up. After self-destruction, he still had a glimmer of hope. But being forced to self-destruct by a master of the universe, is a very shameful thing for the master of Jianhe. Lord of the Sword River. I'm here to help you. Just as the Lord of Jianhe was about to explode, another terrifying aura descended. Boom. In an instant, the time and space controlled by Rorschach became chaotic. On the original star, all the universe lords and universe overlords looked up and saw endless machinery extending from the void above the sky, making a clicking mechanical sound, turning into a huge mechanical sky. And under the mechanical sky, stood a purple armored robot. It's the Lord of Hongxian from the machine tribe who is here. Swallowed Star, my understanding is beyond belief. Author, Bo Yun Song. Chapter 320. The arrival of the Lord of Hongxian surprised everyone on the original star. He is the master of the mechanical clan. Why is the Lord of Hongxian here? Have you never heard that the Lord of Hongxian and the Lord of Jianhe had a relationship? Yeah, it's so strange. Why does Lord Hongxian want to help Lord Jianhe? The Lord of Jianhe himself was also a little confused. He was ready to blow himself up just now. As a master of the universe, he will naturally not die completely because of self-destruction. This time, it is just a clone of him. If he self-destructs here, for him, it will only be the loss of a clone, and this time the most precious sword he Luo brought. Why did the Lord of Hongxian come to help him? The Lord of Jianhe knew very well that there was no friendship at all between him and the Lord of Hongxian, and they had not even communicated with each other. I'm afraid the person who came here is evil. The Lord of Jianhe pondered in his heart, and then thanked the Lord of Hongxian and said, "Thank you, Lord of Hongxian, for your help." Lord of Jianhe, you're welcome. This giant beast of destruction is insidious and cunning. He has set a trap to ambush you here. Otherwise, with the reputation of Lord of Jianhe, he wouldn't be in such an embarrassing situation. The Lord of Hongxian spoke in a scene. The Lord of Jianhe looked a little ashamed when he heard this. To be honest, although the giant beast of destruction deliberately led it here, it did not succeed in the sneak attack, and even let him use the second level of the treasure. But the powerful secret method that he was proud of was destroyed by the sword of the giant beast of destruction, which really made the Lord of Jianhe feel a little ashamed. Lord of Hongxian, what are you doing here? Luo Xia pointed his sword at the master of the Hongxian and shouted loudly. The Lord of Hongxian glanced at Luo Feng and saw the golden horned beast standing behind Luo Xia watching the battle. He calmed down for a moment, asked him what he was doing here. Naturally, I came here for Liu Guangwings. In fact, as early as when Luo Xia was fighting the Lord of Jianhe, the Lord of Hongxian had quietly arrived. He has been hiding his aura. When the Lord of Jianhe was about to explode, the Lord of Hongxian had no choice but to step forward. He found that the giant beast of destruction was too powerful. If the Lord of Jianhe is allowed to self-destruct, then he will be the only Lord of the universe, and he will not be able to snatch Jianhe Luo and Liu Guangwings from the hands of the destruction behemoth. So the Lord of Hongxian changed his mind. Stand up and rescue the Lord of the Sword River, work with him to defeat Rorschach, and first grab the streaming light wings from the golden horned behemoth. What I dislike the most in my life is people like you who are so insidious and cunning, Hongxian's Hizi said righteously, his voice loud and loud, spreading throughout the original star. I came here naturally to help Jianhe Lord, kill shameless people like you. Luo Xia laughed angrily and shouted, you are so high-sounding, but you are also interested in the treasure in my hand, right? No need to talk nonsense. If you fight, then fight. What if you join forces with Jianhe? Today I will let look, there is a gap between the masters of the universe. Boom. The moment the words fell, Luo Xia's sword blade had already been slashed out. The sword light was like a galaxy, containing the power of the laws of time and space, and struck at the Lord of Hongxian and the Lord of Sword River. The Lord of Hongxian looked solemn. By watching the battle, he had a rough idea of Rorschach's strength. He made calculations based on a large amount of data and found that Rorschach's strength can definitely stand among the top group of universe lords in the entire universe, and can stand shoulder to shoulder with top universe lords such as the Lord of Chaos City who have long been famous in the universe. To defeat such a strong man, he must join forces with the Lord of the Sword River to be sure. At this time, Rorschach's sword light struck, and the Lord of Hongxian immediately moved. The mechanical sky hanging above suddenly made a mechanical sound of clicking, followed by the power of laws flowing like data flow, and the strange metal it immediately flowed down from the sky and turned into a 12 crystal shield. Boom! The sword light struck the 12 crystal shields, only to make the 12 crystal shields shake slightly. Rorschach frowned slightly and looked towards the mechanical sky. Is this the ultimate treasure of the Lord of Hongxian? The defense is surprisingly good. Although the sword light he swung out was not very strong. The giant beast of destruction. You are too arrogant. When the Lord of Hongxian saw that his 12 crystal shields blocked Luoxia's sword light, his eyes flashed with light. He waved his hands, but no one could see his movements clearly. It just feels like the Lord of Hongxian has grown tens of millions of hands at this moment. These hands are holding different gestures. The next moment, the mechanical sky made a crackling sound, and muzzles with a diameter of thousands of meters extended out. The terrifying power of law is condensed and surging in the muzzle of the cannon. Lord of the Sword River. Help me! The Lord of Hongxian burst out with divine power, trying to gain control of this space and time, and restrict Rorschach's movements, while shouting to the Lord of Jianhe. The Lord of Jianhe nodded slightly, exploded with divine power, and began to cooperate with the Lord of Hongxian to fight for the control of this side of time and space. Xiao Xia. Seeing the Lord of Jianhe and the Lord of Hongxian joining forces, Luo Feng couldn't help but exclaimed. He is worried about his brother. Brother, stay away from me. I'll be fine. Luo Xia sent a message to respond to Luo Feng. Even when facing the two masters of the universe, he looked calm and composed. The other universe lords and universe overlords were stunned. The Lord of Hongxian and the Lord of Jianhe have really joined forces. Is this giant beast of destruction so strong? Do powerful men like the Lord of Hongxian and the Lord of Jianhe want to join forces? Generally speaking, the Lord of the universe is extremely proud. They usually don't cooperate with others. But now, the giant beast of destruction is too powerful, and the Lord of Hongxian and the Lord of Jianhe can only temporarily put aside their pride as the Lord of the universe. They are fighting for the control of this time and space. Run! Even this most stable time and space has begun to be disturbed. Horrible! Too terrible! Many universe masters and universe overlords who are closer are moving away from the battlefield. They have to stay away. This fight for control of time and space has caused the surrounding time and space to become chaotic. The time and space that is so stable that even the universe masters cannot teleport is now like a tide, fluctuating. These universe masters and universe overlords are overwhelmed by the power of the three universe masters. If they don't run, they will be involved in the battle and they are afraid that they will die. Luo Feng heard Luo Xia's voice transmission and could only fly away. Because the three universe masters were all bursting with divine power, the terrifying pressure was suppressing the space and time like stars, so he was not flying fast, and even moving was difficult. Luo Feng was amazed while flying. Is this the fighting power of the universe master? Too terrible. In the distance, the master of Hongxian and the master of Jianhe were extremely surprised. They looked at each other and saw the stunned emotions in each other's eyes. Damn it! This giant beast of destruction is too strong in the attainment of the law of time and space. The master of Jianhe and I can't get the control of this space and time in the first time. The master of Hongxian exclaimed secretly. The master of Jianhe was also very frustrated at this time. Although the giant beast of destruction is naturally sensitive to the law of time, this kind of control over time and space is too terrible, right? He has joined forces with the master of Hongxian. Why can't he get the control of this space and time?